Okay, so the next step is setting the side cutter teeth. So these teeth that are in sets of 4, there's 2 that sharpened on the left and 2 that are sharpened on the right, and they alternate. So I sharpen these 2 and then these 2 and so on, and then flip the saw and sharpen the other 2. And what you're wanting to do is to have them bend outward a little bit so that the kerf that it cuts through the wood is wider than the thickness of the saw. And that minimizes the friction against the saw, which friction makes your work harder. So we're just trying to make a little bit wider kerf by bending them a little bit. So the first step, you can do it in different ways, but I use this micrometer, and I'm looking to see if they're straight with the blade or if they're already bent a little bit. And to do that, you put the measuring piece right on the tip of the tooth, and the other 4 legs are on the flat part of the saw. And so this one is at 7/1000ths of an inch. So it's not flat with the blade, but is up a little bit, about 7/1000ths of an inch. And what I usually do is 12/1000ths or 15/1000ths, depending on the saw, but that's a pretty typical one for our softwoods. So once I get ready and I know what I'm going to do, I line the tooth up with the edge of this table. And if you'll notice, there's a little beveled part right here that's angled. It's not flat, it's angled downward a little bit. So I put the tip of the tooth over that, and then I clamp it to the table. And I really like these clamps. And then I use a hardened steel bolt. So it's not a standard one, it's I think type 8 or something, but it's hardened steel. And I put it right on the little point here, not on the tip, but there's a little shoulder there. And I put that there, and then I hit it. And then I take it all apart, flip it over, and measure it. So it was at 6.5 thousandths, it's now at 10.5 thousandths. So one strike moved it about 4/1000ths of an inch. So I would flip it back over, hit it again until I get the 12/1000ths or 15, whichever you want. Green wood, a little wider is better, so I go to 15 if you're thinking about cutting wet or green wood, but 12/1000ths for most of our wood is about right. So that's the process, and you just start at one end and go all the way to the other and check each one and sharpen it or set it as you're going.